Hello, 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 everyone. How are we doing? Are we doing great? Let me hope you're doing fantastic. How is everyone? How is everyone doing? Mugamba mutya, mugamba mutya. Nice to see you. Today we have started at 9 p.m. Our today's class at 9 p.m. We failed to meet at 8, but it's okay. Regardless, we move. Yes, regardless. We move. I'm very humbled to be here today, and I'm very humbled to be a trainer tonight, trading when we are trading futures. Okay, Mm. so those who have not yet tried futures, if you learn how it works, okay, you learn how it works, it's really going to be a very beautiful thing to you. But today we are going to look at leverage. What is leverage in trading? Okay. What is leverage in trading? Um, Today it's what we are going to be looking at, and not only that, we are going to be understanding how you can uh, how you can use leverage in your trades or how to avoid it. Okay, we are going to be diving in so that you are you understand everything. Okay. Uh, Simple example. Let's say you have $100, but you want to trade like you have 100,000. If the platform allows you to make leverage, you can control $1,000 worth of futures contracts using just your hedging is technically a bull trade. Why use leverage? To increase your potential. Let me share my screen. Let me share my Let me share my screen. Um, let's go together. Okay. Leverage in future means borrowing money to trade with more than you actually have. In futures, I can have $100 and trade with $1,000. I can have $100 and trade with $5,000. That means I have borrowed. There was it. That's what we call leverage. Now, to increase your potential profits, if the prices move in your favor, you earn more than you would without leverage. You get the point? Let me give an example. If I had $100 only as my trading capital, and I with my $100, I entered a trade, and that trade was giving us a take profit of 2%. How much dollars? How much profit do I make? $2. How about if I had leveraged my trade by 10? That means if I take 2% profit, it's going to be $20 instead. Kategeregese. But price goes against you, you can lose money with the 10x. It control your greed, focus on a strategy. Kategede. In other words, control emotions. The problem we have when we are trading futures, we are very emotional. Futures big abantu abali emotional. Me inclusive. I've lost money in futures. I've made money in futures. So I know what I'm talking about. Let me give you a scenario. One day I entered a trade. Analyzing I just entered with the leverage. The trade was shorting loss of $280. $80. Then it increased $350. I got scared. When it dropped to 250, I got out. I lost $250. After some few minutes, the trade started moving in the direction where I wanted it to go. And I closed the trade in loss, and at the end of the day, the trade still went where I wanted. That is the emotion of fear. If you learn how to control this, you are good to go. Then there is another emotion, the emotion. Because there is money, but please control it. Eh? Mfaransa agamba control. Speed control. Now I can say emotions control. Control your emotions. Don't bring your emotions in futures trading. You're going to. Either way, let me tell you something. Those who are trading futures, the moment you have a good strategy, the moment you have a very beautiful discipline, you will never go back to spot trading. Never. You will have peace. You will make money. Ensojja kutandika okugiraba nga okuyamba buyambi okubeera ku ggandi. You get what I'm saying? So, follow your strategy. The strategy is the most important thing. Now, today's topic, we have come to talk about leverage. We're saying that leverage means borrowing. Okay? Leverage means borrowing. Leverage kitegeeza kwewola. You are borrowing money from Binance to help you. Binance doesn't borrow people with zero money. Etandikira ku z'olina kwekuwolera. If you have $100, if you have $10, if you have $1, if you have $5, then Binance can give you some money. Now, the higher the leverage, the higher the risk. The higher the leverage, the higher the risk. If I enter a trade with 10x and the trade goes against me, and then someone entered the trade with 2x, we cannot have the same operation. But many pressure coming in futures, you would understand how people with the pressure feel. Mostly people with higher leverage. You find someone. I saw a screenshot of someone on Binance. There is a guy who posted a trade. This guy was leveraging 48x. They were dark. People play a lot. Leverage the trend 48 times. When the trade went against this gentleman. Telling you that guy can tell you the saddest story this weekend. The higher the leverage, the higher the risk of the trade. And then the higher the leverage, the higher reward. If I have $100 and I do 48x, that means I have $4,800. Imagine dollars and $10, then you trade with $4,800. That's almost 18 million shillings. Now let's assume I wanted to take only 2% of that trade. 2%. What is 2% of 4,800? The way that make up. How much is it in profit? Wanji? Let's go to my calculator. 4,800 times 2%. You see the profits? You make $96 in just a single trade. But if you had stayed with just your $100, you had it to, you were to make only $2. So the higher the leverage, the higher the reward. Okay. The problem with the people who are doing futures, most of them are very negative. They are only looking at the negative side of the story. Most of the people to trade without leverage. Did you know that? So that means your trades will be secure. Now let's talk about leverage. On Binance, you can leverage a trade by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up 75x. There are even trades where you can leverage by 100, but most of them end 75, others at 50x, others at 45x. It depends on the pair of the coin. Sinzira coin gyokola ki? Sinzira coin gyotradinga. Okay? Now, we said that the higher the leverage, the higher the risk, the higher the reward. So don't gamble with your money. You will lose it. This is my advice. If you are still new in this kind of trading, don't go beyond 5x. Don't go beyond 5x. Owadala nga watandika trading futures. Don't go beyond 5x. Even if you are very good now, don't go beyond 10x. When you go beyond 10x, you will be easily liquidated in case a trade goes against you. If your dollars, your trading capital is $100 for futures, imagine you enter a trade by 2, just 2x. That means you are using $200. A coin to liquidate you, it must go against you by 50%. How many coins go 50% even in a day? There waliwo ne coin nga okugwa 50% emagena mala omwezi mulamba. So that means your trades will be secure. If you have margin calls, you will almost never be liquidated. Are you getting the point? So my advice is mostly to people who have good capital. You have $5,000, you have $10,000, you have $3,000. Please don't leverage. Leverage it. Enter the trade with your real money. Trade nyingi ne sente zo onyumirwe life. You get what I'm saying? Enter the trade with your real. You will enjoy the trade. You will make the profits. The risk will be very minimal. Are we learning something? Only that people get difficult in calculating these things. So sure, you have your $500. Ina dola bitano. Kiki ekikuleveragingisa by 10? Okyatandika trading. Why are you leveraging by 10 when you are still new? Please leave the higher leverage. Just do 2 times only. Because if you do 2 times, that means you are now having $1,000. Be sure if you have a trade and you are using $1,000 and it will be liquidated, the coin must go negative 50%. Tulangolera safe. Even if you enter a trade and you sleep, you are very sure that you won't wake up with surprises. Naimu omuntu ayingira trade, getagala nagenda kufuka. Someone enters the trade and they even fear to go out for short coup because they know they might be busy, they are paying, and they come back liquidated. Someone is using a robot, but all of the eyes is on the screen. They want to know whether they should get a heart attack or they buy a vuvuzela to celebrate. Very funny. You people, just do a small leverage. Okay? Imagine You're having $500 and you are just leveraging by 3. That means your capital now is $1,500. $1,500. Wallahi $1,500 inanyumirwa ng'ate trade yo teri ku risky. The coin will liquidate you. The coin must go down. It must go against you almost 30%. You get what I'm saying? But let me tell you something. If you're trading even more than 30%, if you're trading with 5x, the trade to liquidate you, the coin must go against you 20%. By the way, this is what I want you to understand. The 20%, not the one which is amplified. Omanyi, when we are trading and we have a leverage, the percentage is amplified. Did you know that? Did you know that? The percentages are amplified. For example, those who are using 10x, when a coin just goes down 1%, whatever kulaga 10%. When a coin goes against you just 2%, whatever kulaga 20%. So the 20% I'm talking about is the real 20%. Okay? Is the real 20%. Is the real 20%. Are we learning something? Are we learning something? Now, if you are using 10x, that it will be liquidated. A coin must go just 10%. Coin you're trading asinga kagitaana nekkirira 10%. Bw'oli baba bakulaga nti you are 100% negative. Okay? So, my advice is please understand what comes with leverage. You can collect good capital, avoid higher leverage. People who have $2,000 and above, ng'oli mu futures, leverage day. Trade with 1x, at most 2x. Okay? Design your settings, enter the trade with your money. Ojala trade going against you. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. And you will be feeling comfortable in trades. I told you guys, let us treat futures just like sport. The only difference is this time round, you are trading 2 positions, the long and short. Long means the market going up, short means the market going down. In sport, we are only trading 1 position. You oyingira coin, n'ogirinda paka Yesu lw'alidda to sell. But in futures, if I have a trade, I have a possibility of 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 even hedging my trade. If I have a trade and it goes against me, I can even hedge it. And I enter that trade in 2 positions. And I benefit from it. Someone with $30, where you leverage, go already paying nothing. You get what I'm saying? Leverage. My message to people who can try to avoid leverage, people with a good capital. Boina akasente kaakawe. Leverage osogita. And you trade on money. Your trades will never be basic. Never, ever. Have we understood what leverage is? Now, whenever you are designing your settings, this is the strategy I use. And by the way, if you're using this strategy, even if you have leverage, it will really make for you money. This is the problem we are doing as traders. Let's assume I have $500 as my capital in futures. This is the mistake people have been doing. Now they leverage this money by 10. Already the leverage is high. So designing a strategy designing a 5,000. Now, if they enter the trade and the robot uses all this money, just to get liquidated. What do you mean? The robot has been buying margin calls. The last margin call is the last nail in the coffin. If the market keeps going against you, you are liquidated. Now, this is the strategy I want to teach you. If this is your capital and this is what you want to leverage, that means now you have $5,000. Kategede, 1,000 meka. When you are designing settings, okay? When you are designing settings, when you are designing settings, when you are designing settings, only design 40% of your capital. Okay? Of that money you are going to be using in it. For example, Kugame tuine kumitano. What is 40% of $5,000? Let's go to our culture. 5,000 times 40 per. Together you are designing settings for only 2,000. Sizona, come to your strategy here. Design your settings for 2, not this. Are we together? Designing settings for only 2,000. If you're using double bottom, for example, your first buying amount 20, 40, first margin call, 80, second margin call, 160, third margin call, 320, fourth margin call, 640, enebera margin call ya kumeka. The fifth, we double the money, 640 times 2, enebera meka 1,280. Set it as with you. How much is this? 1,280 plus 640, that is 1,800 and no, that can't be. For example, let's do this practically. This is 2,000 minus 20, the first buying amount, minus 40, the first margin call, minus 80, the second margin call, minus 160, the third margin call, minus 320, the fourth margin call, minus 640, the fourth margin call. Huh? Okay. First margin call, second, third, fourth, fifth. Sixth, the sixth margin call will be putting all this money, $740. Now, that means now we have 6 margin calls. This is the double bottom strategy. We started it during the day at 12 p.m. Those who missed that class, you can go on YouTube and rewatch it. We are talking why this is the best strategy in trading. And for you who are trading futures, try this strategy. Again, kukolera. Okay? This strategy is so beautiful. Even if the market goes against you, there is a way it protects you in trades. Because you are buying more whenever the market goes against you. That means any retracement, you are out of market. The robot doesn't need to wait to the first buying amount level. The robot keeps changing the average price. Let me draw it to understand it more better. If you use the double bottom strategy, let's assume you are Excuse me. So now we said that let's assume we are shorting the market. We are shorting if stroke USDT. But we enter this coin when it's on this level. Ojiraba? Eh? No, let's assume, okay, we are shorting. We enter this coin when it's on this level. We short. Now the market starts to, the market starts to move. And this is our target. Let's assume we are selling at 2%. Then eventually the trade starts to go against us. Instead of going down, starts to go up. Then when it goes up, then later on starts to come down. Now, this is what happens in the double bottom. Whenever the market was going against you, the robot was injecting in more money. This was the first buying amount. It puts 20. First margin called puts 40. Second margin called put 80. Third margin called put 160. Fourth margin called puts 320. Fifth margin call puts 640. Sixth margin call, we saw that it was 720 something. Now, if the average price by the time you bought the first buying amount here, this was the average price, and the selling price was here. The moment the robot bought the first margin call of $40, nesembeza take a profit. The take profit was changed from here to here. When it bought this, that margin call, we're going to take profit at ages one. When it bought the last margin call, you may see the take profit changed to this level. Your robot again over at 2%. And when you are in a profit, are you seeing how the robot is going to sell from your coins at this level without waiting to come back to this end? Have I explained it clearly? I don't know whether people have understood this. With double bottom strategy, is my audio clear? I'm seeing people getting out of class. I don't know whether you can hear me. Mumpulira bulungi? Eh? So whenever the robot is buying more coins, it changes the goal post. It changes the goal post. It keeps bringing it closer. That when the market does another retracement, you are out. That's why I advise to use this strategy so much. You go to my training we did at 12 p.m. It's on our YouTube channel. Go on YouTube, search Royal Q Robot Game Changers. After searching Royal Q Robot Game Changers, okay, tap on. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Then tap live. Go and rewatch this training, which was done at 12 p.m. This training, the double bottom strategy, trading strategy. This one. Go and watch it. It's a very beautiful one. It'll teach you very well how to design that setting depending on your capital. However, it's a very good setting if you have good money. People who are trading with $30, mania $10, $20, $50, that strategy doesn't work. I would recommend it to people starting at least with $200. 200, 300, 500, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 and above. Use that strategy. Now, this will keep your trades moving very, very well. Are we learning something? Now, we said that if your capital is 500 and you want to use 10x, that means you have 5,000. That means you need to make for designing a setting is 5,000. You will liquidate your trades. Design only settings for 2,000. Now, why are we leaving the balance? This balance is to protect our trade. People usually who use this strategy, even if the coin goes against you 100%, you will not be liquidated. Why? You still have this balance. So this strategy will work best when your trades are in cross, not isolated. Because cross means if I have more money on a wallet, it will keep protecting my trade. This is what this strategy does. And for sure, if this money is still available, of course, we are showing $3,000. It is only 300, which is your money. The 200 is in a trade. You will always get out of that trade with a profit. The moment that trade was given as a signal, if it was short, it goes against you, it will eventually come back because whoever gave the signal analyzed it. A leader has analyzed the trade very well. He knows that it will come back. If you have this money in cash without leverage, it's okay. You trade without leverage. You will build. Wajakudam spot trading, I'm telling you. And then another thing, when you do like this, you have a chance to always hedge. You enter the trade in short, trade retracement. You can decide to hedge it. You are like, okay, now let me hedge it and I make another 1% from another direction. Now, this is what happens in hedging. When you are hedging a trade, let's assume you were shorting this trade, it decided to go up. One side will be buying margin calls, and another side, it will be making a profit. Are we learning something? That's what we call hedging. So that thing is in spot, it's in futures trading. One of my next trainings, I think in my next class when I come here to futures, I'm going to come and teach you how do we hedge. Don't just hedge coins. Otherwise, you will make a profit and then another coin will take it. Because trade again a profit, trading a floating loss. So hedging has to be calculated. So next class, I'll teach you when should we hedge and when should we do it. Have we learned something? Have we learned something? Uh, Now, that is how we do it. That's how we do it. Otherwise, when we come back to our class, we said that if you are new in futures trading, leverage 1 to 5x at the most. Otherwise, if possible, do only 1x, 2x, 3x. If you are new in futures trading, the moment you get used, this is WhatsApp. If you come in futures, don't bring all your money at once. Neither you're going to make mistakes and lose it. Bring small money first. Put that $30, leverage it by 3. That means now it has become 90. Trade with that $90. You learn how things work. Then later on, increase your capital to $100. Now you are leveraging by 3. That means now it's $300. You design settings for 150. You trade and learn. If you learn, now come to $200. Okay, no kula. Some of us, we are crying, liquidated, simply because of this. Most of the people who get liquidated, to say it's greed. The trade, a leader gives a signal 6 p.m. Then someone puts it right now. A leader gives a signal, they tell us, what's up, guys? Let's take 1%. Then one of the person is like, 1% is very small. Let me take 3. The 3? Are you the one who calculated that trade? Someone puts 3%, coin yabalala bonna zaba ne zitunda, this one's guys get stuck. The trade never gets there at 3%, then it reverses. Someone is in floating loss. Are we learning something? Usually it's because of this. And the moment you have a bad strategy, you are liquidated. If you follow the strategy I've given you, you will never be liquidated. Never. You will be the one getting out of trades at loss. No sala no kiliza doga na dola 10 tukiliza zigenzi. Now finding your trade liquidated, getting a message from Binance that liquidation, no, it will never happen. Okay, it will not easily happen. Simply follow a strategy. Have we learned something? Let's use the remaining minutes to answer questions. Now I'm open for questions. If you have a question, you can drop it in the chat box. If you have a question, you can drop it in the chat box. Someone is saying $15 capital strategy to X. That is $30. Yeah, you ain't a trade. By the way, small money, they don't need a lot of magic. You don't need a lot of magic. Kati $30, imagine cause of that. Enter with your money. Trade your way to get. You get what I'm saying? You have $30 only. First buying amount 15. 15 balance protecting your trade. You over there, you. You get what I'm saying? Uh-huh. Um, okay. I think these messages are very old. I'm saying so. Esther here saying about me $30. I think I answered that. Do we have people with questions? Anyone with a question about today's class? Yeah? It is very possible to trade without leverage. Bulungi nnyo. Sobola okutradinga nti oyina leverage. Okola ssente. Did you know that? Eh? You can trade very well without leverage. And you make money. Nokolera ddala ssente. Okay? Very possible, and you enjoy the market. Okay? Anyone with a question? If you have a question, raise up your hand. I give you a microphone. You ask your question, or you type it in the chat box. Or type it in the chat box. Anyone with a question before we close our training? Anyone with a question? Hmm? Anyone with a question? Vincent is asking, how much capital do I need to trade without leverage? Even if you have $100, you can trade with no leverage, by the way. However, what you have to know is that you are going to earn just like someone with in spot trading. In futures, people have a chance to trade and make good profits more than in sports. But if you decide to trade with no leverage, you are going to make the same profits like people in sports. But your trades will be less risky. Your trades will be very secure. Look, if you have only $100, no trading $100 ochukumi. That means if that trade the take profit is 1%, ojayo dollar etya more profit. Nenga capital is safe. Than using $100, you do 10x ate ne bazikuba. Are we learning something? Uh-huh. So you can trade with no leverage, no problem. Olaba nga otya nnyo futures, just leave the leverage part. Trade with your own money, enjoy the market. So whenever you are entering any coin, you just see, for example, here we are in futures, you want to trade local. You come, tap create, tap understand. Now you want to enter this trade. This is your strategy. For example, mine, this is mine. You tap, the first buy amount is 31.5. So I get this 63 times 3. I've got 189. 189 is equivalent to 15. My first buy amount is 31.5. So 100. So this is like 400. 800 is divided. 180. Yeah, into 5. That's it. That 1.5, that's my first buying amount. This is what happens in futures. In futures, we don't use first buying amount as dollars. We write first buying amount in a coin. That's why you have to keep editing here until you get the exact amount you want. Then when you come to the leverage part, you leave it to 1 in case you don't want to trade with leverage. Those who want to trade with little money, you can leave it. You can put 2 and put only 3, at most put 5 as a new member. Okay? But you can even trade with only 1 X. Then you come and tap confirm. Then you start the trade. I'm not going to start it. Then you start the trade and you enjoy the business. Questions before we close our training. So you can trade with any amount of money you want with no leverage. Every just hoping someone to boost their capital. Mostly people with small capital. Small capital. You get the point? Mm-hmm. Okay, I think no more questions. We don't have anyone asking a question. I want to give yourself a round of applause, give yourself flowers for being a very good audience tonight. I dedicated myself to teach you this part until we all master it, until we get out to the fear. Most of the traders are fearing this kind of trading. Yeah, a singer, we are scared. People are scaring us. Some people even come in the group. Lost money. They're only talking about the money they lost. They're not talking about the money they made. Hmm? Yeah, some people are scared. People are scared. But you know what's up? Just learn how to do it. Okay. The moment you learn how to do it, you are going to enjoy this trading. Okay. Sechanzi alimu kumanyagano mulaba on this namesake. Okay, thank you so much. Have a great time. See you at the top. Let's meet in another class. Have a great night. See you.